Mariners fans, look to the top of the second page. I do not hate your team, I do, however, hate the other 29 teams with the passion of 1,000 suns. Let's scratch the big introduction this week and get right to the important stuff. 1. Los Angeles Dodgers record, 8-3 last week, won as the overall MLB team leaders in batting average, on-base percentage, and OPS. The Dodgers get top billing in these rankings for the second straight week. If there are early concerns for the reigning National League champions, Joe Kelly, who was signed to a 3-year, $21 million free agent contract over the winter, has allowed 9 earned runs through 6 innings of relief, taking 2 losses and 3 blown saves. He struggled again Monday night against the Cardinals, in the latter part of a 4-3 defeat that saw starter Hyunjin Ryu aggravate the left groin injury that cost him 3 months last year. 2. Philadelphia Phillies record, 7-2 last week. 3. Rhys Hoskins continued the early season slugfest with a pair of solo home runs in Monday night's 4-3 victory over the Nationals. Hoskins is up to 5 home runs and 15 RBI through 9 games this season, and he's sporting a delectable .367, .513, .933 batting line across 39 plate appearances. The 26-year-old currently boasts a career .911 OPS with 57 home runs in his first 212 Major League games. He was a 4th-round pick in the average Yahoo draft this spring and seems fully capable of providing second or even first-round production, hitting behind the likes of Andrew McCutchen, Gene Segura, and Bryce Harper. 3. Houston Astros record, 6-5 last week. 2. The Astros got off to a relatively sluggish start this season, but they swept a 3-game weekend series against the Athletics and rallied for a 4-3 comeback victory in Monday's series opener against the Yankees. That's 4 wins in a row for the defending American League West champions, and they'll try to make it 5 in a row behind Jarrett Cole on Tuesday night at Minute Maid Park. Alex Bregman, who was signed a 5-year, $100 million contract extension in the final week of spring training, has led the way offensively with a .351 batting average and .931 OPS through his first 45 plate appearances. Editor's note: stay ahead of the competition from wire to wire with rankings, customizable projections, trade evaluator, exclusive columns and more in our season pass. And start using optimized lineups on Yahoo, DraftKings and FanDuel with our DFS toolkit. 4. Milwaukee Brewers record, 8-3 last week. 5. The Brewers took 2 of 3 from the division rival Cubs over the weekend before falling 5-2 in Monday night's series opener against the Angels. Christian Yelich, the reigning National League MVP, had a homer robbed by Mike Trout in that one. Yelich still finished 2 for 4 in the loss and is currently batting .375, .490, .850 with 5 home runs, 13 RBI, 2 stolen bases, and 4 runs scored through 11 games this season. Milwaukee currently ranks 7th in the majors in team OPS, .807. And baseball's ultimate relief weapon, Josh Hader, has struck out 13 batters while yielding only 1 hit over 7 2/3 scoreless frames. 5. Tampa Bay Rays record, 8-3 last week. 12 Rays fans were clamoring for more love in the Roto-World MLB Power Rankings last week, so here it is. Tampa Bay pitchers on the whole have allowed just 20 earned runs in 100 innings this season for a combined ERA of 1.80, tops among all major league teams by a fairly comfortable margin. Blake Snell struggled in his opening day start against the Astros and Justin Verlander back on March 28, but in his 2 turns since, the reigning American League Cy Young Award winner has struck out 24 batters and surrendered just 1 run over 13 innings. And did you see this wicked pitch from closer Jose Alvarado last week? 6. Cleveland Indians record, 6-3 last week. 9. Cleveland beat up on the visiting Blue Jays over the weekend, sweeping a 4-game series at Progressive Field by a combined score of 17-6. Indians hitters have delivered a brutal .182, .262, .273 line through 275 total at-bats this season, but Jose Ramirez got it going in the final two games against Toronto, and Francisco Lindor, calf, ankle, will hopefully be ready for Major League games before the end of April. Trevor Bauer is sporting a 0.64 ERA with 17 strikeouts through 14 innings, and Mike Clevinger has done him one better with a 0.00 ERA and 22 strikeouts over 12 frames. 7. New York Mets record, 6-3 last week. 7. The Mets dropped 2 of 3 to the division rival Nationals over the weekend and will now try to bounce back in a 2-game interleague series against the Twins, with Jacob deGrom taking the hill in Tuesday night's opener at Citi Field. The 30-year-old right-hander has picked up right where he left off in 2018, with a 2-0 record, 0.00 ERA, and 24 xBB ratio through 13 innings this season. If he logs a quality start Tuesday versus Minnesota, deGrom will pass Bob Gibson and claim the MLB record for most consecutive quality starts, 27. Gibson and deGrom are currently tied on that all-time leaderboard with 26. 8. Atlanta Braves record, 6-4 last week. 13. The defending National League East champions were swept by the division rival Phillies in a 3-game season opening series, but they've won 6 of their last 7, including an 8-6 defeat of the Rockies on Monday night, in which Ronald Acuna belted a 2-run homer and crossed the plate 3 times. The 21-year-old outfielder has 3 home runs, 6 RBI, 1 stolen base, and 9 runs scored through 10 games this season. And the Braves have to be overjoyed with the early offensive output from shortstop Dansby Swanson, who's slashing .333, .436, .733 with 3 home runs and 12 RBI. 9. New York Yankees record, 5-5 last week. 6. New York got another bad dose of injury news on Monday, as rehabbing starter Luis Severino experienced renewed discomfort in his throwing shoulder while playing long toss in Tampa. He's off to get an MRI, the results of which should be made available sometime Tuesday or Wednesday. Even if it's only a minor setback, Severino can probably be ruled out at least another 4 weeks. He opened the season on the injured list after being diagnosed with rotator cuff inflammation in early March. Yankees starters have actually held their own for the most part in Severino's absence, working to a combined 2.91 ERA. 10. Boston Red Sox record, 3-8 last week. 4. The defending World Series champions nearly got swept by the rebuilding Diamondbacks over the weekend before managing to salvage a 1-0 victory in Sunday's series finale, with relievers Hector Velasquez, Brandon Workman, Marcus Walden, Matt Barnes, and Ryan Brazier combining for a 3-hit shutout of the host Snakes. The narrative in Boston before the season began was that the bullpen might hold this team back, but it's the rotation that has proven problematic. Red Sox starters hold a combined 8.57 ERA, and that includes Velasquez's 3 scoreless frames as the opener on Sunday. 11. San Diego Padre record, 7-4 last week. 15. The Padres spoiled the Cardinals' home opener last Thursday and ultimately took 2 of 3 in that series before rallying to beat the Giants in Madison Bumgarner in Monday night's series opener at Oracle Park in San Francisco. San Diego has won 4 of its last 5 to stay within striking distance of the scorching hot Dodgers for the top spot in the National League West standings. Fernando Tatis Jr. has an .867 ops with 3 home runs and 2 doubles through his first 11 Major League games. Reminder that the surprise addition to the opening day roster will play this entire season at age 20. 12. St. Louis Cardinals record, 5-5 last week. 10. Adam Wainwright turned back the clock to right the ship for the Cardinals in Sunday's series finale against the Padres, striking out 9 batters over 6 innings of 1-run ball in a 3-1 sweep, avoiding victory. Flame-throwing youngster Jordan Hicks earned his first save of the season in that one and then tallied his second save in as many days Monday as the Cardinals beat the Dodgers in the first game of a 4-game set. Hicks seems to have better control of his nasty raw arsenal this year than he did as a rookie in 2018, and he can run away with the team's ninth-inning gig with Andrew Miller continuing to struggle. 13. Washington Nationals record, 4-5 last week. 8. Max Scherzer, Steven Strasburg, and Patrick Corbin have all pitched well out of the gate this season, as one would expect, but Washington's bullpen looks absolutely atrocious. Nationals relievers have been charged with 29 earned runs in 25 2/3 combined innings for an overall bullpen ERA of 10.17. Trevor Rosenthal, signed to a one-year, $7 million free agent deal this winter, has faced 9 batters and retired none of them. With a long rehabilitation from Tommy John surgery sandwiched in between, the 28-year-old right-hander last recorded an out at the major league level back on August 12, 2017. 14. Minnesota Twins record, 5-3 last week. 14. Twins shortstop Jorge Polanco hit for the cycle last Friday as part of a 5-for-5 night, becoming just the second player in the 119-year history of the franchise to record 5 hits and a cycle in the same game. The other, Joe Cronin, September 2, 1929, when the team was called the Washington Senators. Polanco is batting .375, .429, .688 through 35 plate appearances for a Minnesota team that currently sits one game back of first place in the AL Central standings. It didn't get the publicity of some other high-profile extensions, but Polanco's 5-year, $25.75 million agreement from February is already looking extremely team-friendly. 15. Chicago Cubs record, 3-7 last week. 11. The Cubs kicked off the 2019 regular season with a tumultuous and largely unsuccessful 9-game road trip, but they dominated the Pirates by a score of 10-0 in Monday's home opener at Wrigley Field and will now try to begin chasing down the red-hot Brewers for the top spot in the National League Central standings. There's a 4.5-game gap between the two clubs as of April 9. A negative from that big win Monday, John Lester was lifted in the top of the third inning after tweaking something in his left hamstring while rounding the bases in the Cubs' 6-run bottom of the second. The veteran starter has been sent for an MRI.